Hey guys, this is Deanna Lovern Fishing. I decided to start doing some videos, and this is probably take 20, 21 of ones I've recently deleted just because I've never done this before, obviously. I enjoy fishing. I fish a lot. I fish as much as I possibly can with my husband, and also as a co-angler with the Lady Bass Anglers Association. I've been a co-angler for 7 years, or this going into my 7th year. I have met some of the most amazing women from all over the country that I never would have gotten the pleasure of meeting, much less fishing with, if I hadn't started this journey back in 2014. Most people have heard the story in my little small circle of the world about how I started. But in case you haven't, and this is the first time we are meeting, hello and thank you for tuning in. Back in 2013, late 13, early 14, I was already starting to fish a little bit with my husband. We had gone several times fishing, and normally I would just take a book with me. It was long before we had phones that we could download books into, and I would sit on the back of the boat while he was fishing, and I would get some sun or take a nap or read my latest novel book I was reading. And we went to Guntersville, which pretty much anybody in the bass fishing world knows where Guntersville, Alabama is. It's only about a 2.5-hour drive from where we are. We live in Bradyville, Tennessee, south of Nashville. And it's where I've lived in Middle Tennessee my entire life. But on that particular trip, I actually caught several big bass. I tried before. I'd backlash. I was just like, this is stupid. I can't do this. Well, something clicked that day, and I was so excited. And so I was like, when are we going again? And then I'd go with him. We'd go to tournaments, and pretty much was just the netter. I'm really good netter because that was the only way I was participating, because I wasn't catching any fish. But we'd listen on Saturday mornings to the lake, going to the lake to Doug Markham out of Nashville on 99.7 Talk Radio. Outdoors with Doug Markham, I think is what it was. And he was interviewing a lady, and I was actually on my way to work. We used to listen to Doug when we were going to fishing tournaments, but that Saturday morning I was on my way to work. And I listened to her talk about the LBAA, the Lady Bass Anglers Association. And I was like, they have a women's tour. That would be so neat to go watch, because, we listened and watched the Bassmasters and have gone to the shows and the fishing shows and the boat shows. This was actually with women. And I'm like, I think they'd be so cool to meet them. Well, in March, I'm thinking of 2014, the Bassmasters Classic was at Guntersville. And we decided we were going to go down. And when we got there, I looked on their program, and the Lady Bass Anglers had a booth there. And I was like, I get to go meet some of these women. And I talked to them. I bought a t-shirt. And their next tournament was going to be held at Old Hickory, which is less than an hour and a half from my house. Good traffic. And they said, you need to join as a co-angler and come fish with us. We're in your home state. And, of course, my husband, we talked about it. And then the next day I wore my Lady Bass Anglers t-shirt in Leeds, Alabama at the Bass Pro Shop there. And this lady walks up to me and sticks out her hand and says, "Are you a member?" And I was caught off guard at first because I'm like, "A member of what?" And she pointed to my shirt that had Lady Bass Anglers on it. And I went, "Oh, no, not yet. I'm talking about it." I said, I just met the ladies yesterday. Well, she gave me her card, and she had been a member since they started. And her name, Martha Goodfellow. And she said, "You have any questions about anything?" She goes, "You just call me." And I was like, okay, that would be so neat. And then we got home. We talked about it. I looked them up on the internet, and Martha and I exchanged emails back and forth a few times about some questions. And my husband was so funny. He's like, "You do realize you're not taking the fish off the hook when you catch them, right?" I said, "I won't be in the back of the boat with you." And I'm going, I know, but I can learn. So from that moment that I decided I was going to go fish as a co-angler with the Lady Bass Anglers Association, that I had to learn how to fish and how to take care of my fish, how to remove the hook, how to tie on the hook, how to do everything I needed to be able to do in that back of that boat by myself. And it's not just as easy as you think it is. But if this old girl can do it, anybody can. So fast forward a few months, Lady Bass Anglers come to Old Hickory, and I go in for the meeting and for the pairings meeting, and I meet another lady that it was her first tournament with the Lady Bass Anglers also. And her name's Angela Mayo. Hey, Angela. Which we'll get back with her about her later. But let's just say 7 years later, we're still fishing. And but at Old Hickory, I was scared to death. I didn't even have a rain suit. Roger's like, "We've got to go get you some rain gear," because it was cold that day and it was raining. And I had my little tackle bag and a couple of fishing poles and my life jacket, and I was ready to go fishing. And so you fish for 2 days, and it's a combined weight. Being a co-angler, you only get 3 fish, where your boater gets 5 fish. So the boaters are weighing against other boaters, and the co-anglers are weighing against other co-anglers. So you have a boater first place and a co-angler first place. And depending on how many anglers you have signed up is how many places they pay out, which is what a typical tournament does. But at the time, I didn't know that. I didn't know how that worked. And I never caught a single keeper fish. And I was like, oh, well, but I want to do it again. Even though I caught some fish, they didn't measure. I wanted to do it again. I came in last place. Never even made it to stage, that was my main goal, was I want to get up on stage. I want to catch a fish that is, within limits, and get on that stage and go, "Look what I caught." So a couple months later, they're in Kentucky Lake, which that's only just, 2.5, 3 hours away again. So I'm going to all these local, it's not local, but it's not a long drive. And I finally got my first keeper fish. I was so excited to get up on stage and talk to Don Day. And hi, Don. And it was just exhilarating. And my girlfriends at work, my best friend from high school, they're all going, "You're doing what? You're the girly girl. You're the one who has her hair done, does her makeup, lipstick, mascara, eyeliner, the whole thing. And you're getting in a boat, going fishing." Yeah. 7 years later, they're kind of used to the idea now, but some of them still just shake their head going, "You're that girly girl. How are you doing all this?" And so I get on a little tangent every once in a while. Then after going to Kentucky, we went to Arkansas. And that was the wild card. And there is where they let you know who qualified for their classic. And Sadie's crawling up in my lap again. There she is. Sadie girl. She's a big baby. And just crazy luck, I qualified for the classic. How? I have no idea. But I got to go to Logan Martin in Alabama. So the hubs and I, he took off work. He loaded up. We had a big camper at the time. We got us a spot at the campground. I pulled the boat, which that meant I had to drive over Monteagle Mountain pulling a boat, which that was another story. And on the way there, we had 2 flat tires on the camper, which we're going, okay, are we even supposed to be doing this? So we finally get to Alabama and get everything set up. And it's a 3-day tournament. And I was there all week to get to pre-fish. And I came in dead last. I don't care. I had the time of my life. So the following year, I'm like, I'm doing this again. Bringing back Angela, the one who I met at Old Hickory. She's from North Carolina. Her and I, we started becoming friends on Facebook and talking. And her husband came with her and for that first season that we were together. And we decided next year, let's be travel partners. So we decided to become travel partners, and we left the hubs at home. They weren't too happy about that because they liked fishing too. And so we went all over the United States again. We went to we went to Kentucky Lake, Bull Shoals, Arkansas, Diamond City, Arkansas, Bull Shoals Lake. We went to several different places. It's been so long ago, I'd have to go and look it all back up where we've been. And ever since then, we've remained really close friends. She's a dear friend of mine. But we've both had our successes in this, and we've both had our heartbreaks in this. And let me tell you, fish don't care. If you're a man, if you're a woman, if you're 2, let's go a little bit older than 2. It might be a little bit easier for a 5-year-old to catch fish than a 2. But if you're young, if you're old, if you like what you throw out in front of them, you're going to catch a fish. And I have really enjoyed this adventure that I took on back in 2014. It is something I will, as long as I am physically able to do and financially able to do, I will keep doing it. I mean, it's something that if you think that you just can't, you don't see yourself doing it until you do it, and you're going, I want more. I want more. And of course, the old pun is once you hook one, you're hooked. Yeah, I'm hooked. So, back in 2016, I won the Lady Bass Anglers Co-Angler Classic. So, I was the classic champion on Old Hickory Lake here in Tennessee. Most people would think, oh, that was her home lake. I'd never fished Old Hickory until the ladies came to Tennessee. I have met some, and I know I said this earlier, some of the most amazing women who have gone through such obstacles to be able to fish. Sickness, taking care of loved ones, to just good people. And I am so grateful to have met each and every one of them. And I've still yet to fish with each and every one of them. But when we come together again at the end of March, I am so ready to have my sisters back. Yeah, we see each other on Facebook, and there's a few that, you know, will call each other and send messages and see how each other's doing, because we've got a few that's been sick and some that's had an accident, and we've had some that haven't been able to come to the tournaments in a couple of years, but we all support each other. We're all there for each other. Don't get me wrong. We want to catch more fish than the other one, because at the end of the day, we want that trophy. But we want each other to do it safely, and we come together, and I'm just very thankful for that. I'm thankful for the fact that my husband helped support me with this. I am on a few pro staffs and field staffs, but there's some products that I use that I'm not on their staff at all, because I enjoy using them. And in later videos, I will discuss some of those things and some of the techniques that I like to use, and just some of the little crazy things that sometimes I do to get ready, or if it's on a very cold day, what I do. And it just might be some tips to help someone else who go, I didn't think about doing that. And because I'm all the time about learning stuff. I'm a sponge. When I'm in the back of that boat with some of these ladies that have been doing it for 20 years, don't think I'm not paying attention. They know it. And it's like, how did you know how to do that? And it's experience. I am definitely not a seasoned angler, but I have come a long way from 2014 not being able to tie my own hook on and taking my fish off, to being the 2016 and 2019 Co-Angler LBAA Classic champion, which I'm very proud of that. During the regular seasons, my highest finish has been second. So if my 2 wins come during the championship, I'll take that any day of the week. I've come close a couple of times, but I've yet to pull out that first place finish during a regular tournament. And that's always my goal, along with Angler of the Year. But I don't know if you can see this. I went to a shabby chic sale today. They had women's clothing and jewelry and earrings and makeup and just all different kinds of soaps that you could buy. And what? Yes, Sadie. And what do I come home with? A big old bass wrapped around my neck. But all right, guys, I've taken up way too much time. I really wasn't going to do but maybe about 10 minutes, and I've almost doubled that. So maybe on the next time, I'll just go straight to little tips and different small things. So until I actually get the courage to post this and to do another one, I hope you like it. My love circles, I'll explain that in another video sometime. Just keep fishing. Bye.